Hello, everyone. This is the EZA Podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Huber.
Hello.
Ben Moore.
Hey.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
And making this all happen, Ian Hink.
Hi.
Hello. Let's check out the good old Desire Index.
Excellent.
We're actually doing 2 more weeks of Desire Index. We're adding number 9 this week and number 10 next week. Madden has graduated and opened us up another slot, and that's why
I always forget about this thing.
Yep. So Pokemon Sword is now at the bottom as Madden has graduated. So here we go. This is from Andrew Treherne. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, the best Zelda game of all time, is being remade, and you don't have it on your list yet. Shameful. So this is tricky. Where do we put?
It's very tricky.
Top 5 for sure.
Is it top 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so top
you
5.
Remember the top 5, Huber? That's
I don't remember the
big,
top
Okay.
5.
All right, let me recap top 5.
But I mean,
for you.
it's Zelda.
It is, exactly. That's why this is hard. So
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy VII, Last of Us Part 2, Doom Eternal, Astral Chain. It could maybe beat Astral Chain.
Yeah, I'm putting it right there, number 5 for
no,
me.
I fight against that. The world doesn't have an Astral Chain. It already has one of the best Legend of Zelda games of all time.
Fair.
This is the Desire Index.
Yes.
And so it's hard. Like, I'm not saying that remake isn't going to be amazing, but I think what makes it tricky, as much as I enjoy the style, is I'm going to have to take a holistic approach with the Link's Awakening remake. I'm not going to know how much I enjoy it until I see everything that they've done to it. Because a lot of those scenes, a lot of those dungeons, a lot of those bosses, I'm going to need to see how it plays out. And that's different than, say, the Final Fantasy VII remake, where I already know they are changing a ton.
Yes.
It is going to be a very different experience than what I played, all the way back in the day on the PS1. So when it comes to Desire, if that's what we are ranking, I think this falls into a tricky spot. I'm going to play it, absolutely. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it, but...
No, I think, Ben, those 2 games need to be compared against each other, because Final Fantasy VII Remake, to me, is here's what this game would look like if we made it today.
Yeah.
This is our expression of what Final Fantasy VII is on this current generation. Link's Awakening, to me, is like, here's a cute version of Link's Awakening.
Right. And it may be more than that.
Yes.
But we just don't know. And so I think it is harder. Like, I think there's more of a case to be made for Astral Chain, something that the world doesn't have and is doing a lot of crazy ideas with its living weapon, whole mechanic. I don't know. I think I'm more curious about that because of what we know.
Blood, where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I mean, Desire, it's definitely it's an interesting concept because it's kind of like anticipation, right? And it's and sort of like you're saying, it's like Link's Awakening is an incredible game, but we also pretty much know what that game is. I mean, you guys are saying like, oh, we don't know it, but I think we do know what it is for the most part. I think it is very much trying to stay as close like to the metal as possible and really just update the visuals so that it has like a new, fresh, inviting look for both people who have never played the game and people who have to play it again, but still get essentially what they remember.
So the thing they've yet to reveal is the little trophy collection system. There are interiors that have slots where trophies will go, presumably.
Yeah.
I doubt the method of collecting those will be appealing. I doubt it's going to be like, man, I can't wait to get all those trophies.
There's probably some easy fun ones and some annoying hard ones.
Do you think so?
Yeah, probably some like fishing or bug collecting or some weird thing, and then just like, hey, beat this dungeon.
I'll tell you, my fear
When you
is
say
that
trophy,
it's
you're saying that they'll be like achievements?
little statues. I don't know. That's a cool idea, Huber, that they're achievements. I'm assuming it's all going to be like grind the dungeons, the random dungeons.
I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit softer on this just because it's like Link's Awakening is a game that I grew up with. It's a game I've already finished. And so anything that allows me to get something new out of it, I don't know. I think I'm more apt if it was a brand new Zelda story that I had never experienced before. I don't think the incentive would be there to even grind some things out. But because it's a known quantity to me, I think I would want to maybe grind those things out. It'd be more appealing to me than it would be in another game.
So it sounds like the discussion for Link's Awakening is not how high it's going, but how low it's going.
Ouch.
Where does it compare with Luigi's Mansion 3?
Dude, it's above.
It's below.
It's above. Like Astral Chain, it's above as well. Because Astral Chain has my curiosity, but it's not a Zelda game. It could be terrible. And I personally haven't played Link's Awakening, so I desire to experience this Zelda that you guys always
You have
rave
a
about
ride in front of you, yeah.
far more than potentially Astral Chain, which could be amazing, but also Platinum Games isn't a winner every single time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, decent games.
Those are licensed things. I think you could make an equally strong case with their original IP, and they go out of their way to knock it out of the park.
That's true.
Ian, we're going to need your take on this.
Yeah, Ian, the tiebreaker.
I mean, I haven't played Link's Awakening either, so I'm very excited for that.
Oh, boy. Okay. Where are you putting it then?
What are we fighting against right now?
Astral Chain.
And Luigi's Mansion.
I mean, for me, I think
Is Luigi's Mansion 6?
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion and Link's Awakening are sort of tied, but I think Link's Awakening gets it over that. And I mean, like, I don't know. I like some Platinum games I've played, but I just don't like others. So I'm not really anticipating Astral Chain at all. So I'm not really fair on that one, maybe.
What about you, Bossman?
Oh, I have no deciding factor in the desire index. I just oversee it. Blood, can you be swayed one way or the other? You are the hinge between Astral Chain and Link's Awakening.
Don't let me down, Blood.
And not between that and Luigi.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, I think Zelda is probably below Astral Chain on this one.
Oh wow.
Boom!
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the perspective is interesting because
It is.
Your
they
check
both
is coming in the
haven't
mail.
played Link's Awakening. Like you should be anticipating that game if you haven't played it.
Definitely.
Like it is one of the best Zelda games. Like it's like that's a no-brainer.
No brainer.
So is it going above Luigi's Mansion? Officially?
Man, Luigi's Mansion always... Okay, let me make a case for Luigi's Mansion.
Please, yeah. I love
Luigi's Mansion is a game that is constantly easy to ignore.
Yes.
It is a game that, from its announcement, was like, oh, this isn't a 3D Mario game. GameCube sucks. Like, that type of conversation and that type of like mental attitude towards Luigi's Mansion has happened. Those people have been constantly proven wrong. If you play Luigi's Mansion, it is such a unique adventure. There's nothing else that is quite like it. That is obviously informed by other 3D Mario games, but goes out of its way to present new mechanics all the time. Even just the simple, I could give you the most basic ass Luigi's Mansion room that there is in that game. Give you the most basic one, and you would have a blast. It could just be nothing but a room with ghosts coming up, and it's fun just using the stick, using the controller to suck them up. And not only that, but you get the way that you uncover those ghosts, what you have to do, how you have to manipulate the environment to kind of suss them out before you have that epic battle. It's amazing. It is peak Nintendo in terms of just like creativity and fun, and it's just a bunch of preconceived notions that go against it, not its actual quality. And that ain't right.
I gotta say, I love playing a cowardly protagonist.
Yes.
It's so rare. Okay, all right, it's sinking. Is it above Marvel's Avengers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we lock it in above Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers seems to be like...
I can't believe Avengers
nothing
is even
to
on
dip-
that list.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, so The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, I know it was shameful it's not on our list. It's probably just as shameful. It's sliding into the number 7 slot.
So Avengers is 8?
Avengers is 8,
Can we
yes.
boot that?
Boot it?
Can we just boot it right now?
You can't boot it. You could make
Nobody wanted it on the list. We're like, huh?
Well, I mean...
No, we've had a conversation about
we
it.
desire it more than Pokemon Sword and Shield. We do.
Can I just say it doesn't feel good arguing against Link's Awakening? Like that, I truly do think it is one of the best Zelda games. But
Yeah. Hey, it's a remake. Okay.
it's a remake.
It's time for corrections. Begin corrections music, please. End corrections music. Just to be very clear, next week will be the final week of the Desire Index. We're going to hit 10, and then that'll be locked in for the rest of the season. Begin corrections music, please. Okay, so it turns out schwassels is the currency in the Netherlands, not Belgium. We got so many
did that-
comments about Dorothea and Manuela. because people are like, hey, once you get to know them, their sexiness makes sense. So I got like a lot of responses to this, obviously.
Kyle, what did you say?
Oh,
Ben
Ben,
has
it's a
said
very
so
long
many things.
conversation.
But I do want to say that, like, hey man, that's all anime. All anime starts with a sexy character who turns out to have like a lot of things going on.
No, that is not. No. That is not all anime. Sometimes it's just naked, raw sexiness for sexiness sake. You don't say that.
Right. Well, we get that Fire Emblem is not that. But I feel like the core of the question was always like misunderstood, in that this person just said like, would the world be better off if Fire Emblem characters were less attractive? Like that's the basis of the question. We can all admit they're attractive characters. If they had just like more realistic, more humanly ugly faces, would we have a better world? And that was the basis of the question. So like, hey, nobody's like attacking it for having beautiful people. That's a whole other conversation.
Can I very quickly jump in with Three Houses though? Because
Please do, yeah.
kind of like with the Luigi's Mansion thing, where I think it's easy to get in your head that it is a certain way.
Yeah.
I think if you were to take like the last, 7 years or so of Fire Emblem, like Three Houses has better characterization than those games do. Like they go
Than
deeper.
Awakening and Fates.
Yeah, they
basically.
go. And even Echoes, like they go deeper with those characters. There is more of a justification for them being the way that they are, and it's not like a lot of times when you get that justification, it's just like, oh, he's like this because, and it's a one sentence summary. But the way that they schedule the days, you actually feel like you're having more grounded conversations with them. They feel more believable, and so I think when people are being upset with you, it really comes from the context of the game. Like that, it's better here and deserves more credit than maybe it's gotten in the past.
For Fates.
Yeah.
Like Fates we could totally trash on, whereas like, yeah, we don't need to trash on Three Houses. I guess like subject for the comments, hit me up on this. Would, like, you remember like the Dove, the Dove soap?
I use Dove.
Yeah. Do you remember when they were just like, hey, these are realistic bodies, and they made a huge deal out of that advertising campaign?
Yeah,
How long
I remember.
ago was
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would it work for a video game? Would it work for like, hey, we're really doing realistic bodies in the next Fire Emblem?
Yes.
Well, the problem with it is, I think it's a good thing to do. It's
Yeah.
just what ends up happening. The counter argument that immediately springs up is, oh, you're just doing this to sell more things. Like people doubt the sincerity of it. They doubt the.
Oh, even with Dove, right?
Right.
So like,
They
hey,
doubt.
you're
They
still
doubt
a corporation.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
They doubt the sincerity and they doubt the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And so like the way that you do it, right? You don't make it a campaign. You just do it.
Yeah.
That's it. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
like it's not that simple, of course. Like people are going to generate arguments on the internet over anything, but I do understand when it becomes a marketing campaign, people are going to be naturally skeptical of that, even if they shouldn't be, even if it really is just trying to put something good into the world.
Like one thing I've picked up from marketing is that they love their awards and they love to get attention for their campaigns.
Yes.
I guess everybody does. That's
Yeah.
any industry, right? But yeah, marketing in particular
You
seems
want some
like
pats on the back.
Yeah, they really want those awards.
I mean, I don't work in marketing, but isn't it like anything else where you move up based on results, right? And
Yeah.
so you have to generate that in some form.
I made the Dove campaign.
Man, seeing a campaign for the next Fire Emblem game where it was about like, we've got representations of all types of bodies of people, like just how they would work that in.
No
I kind
way.
of want to see that ad. It'd be so weird.
Yeah. Media Create, they stopped showing weekly numbers, but Famitsu still doing it. Lastly, releases.com, pretty good. Had a few commenters really back it up. And corrections music, please.
Just to see what's coming out?
We were making fun of releases.com. No, I think you like keep track of, you have like your own list of like, it's a list that helps you keep track of releases when they're about to come out.
Gotcha.
So like, yeah, like who's going to remember release dates? It's just like, okay, I know I want Ghost Recon Wildlands. When's that happening? Like, oh,
2019
okay.
2 years
in
ago.
video games
Thank you, Ben.
is my favorite. Wikipedia does
me
a great
too.
job.
That's what I do every week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tw-
the
20
Wikipedia
yeah.
game releases?
2019 and
That's
the best.
dude. I know Blood's
Pro tip.
gonna poo-poo on it, but I use it all the time.
Me
Huber.
too.
I'm right there
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
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 What do you prefer, Blood
But I
Earth?
couldn't make this podcast without that one Wikipedia article.
And it's done by the
My
code.
preference is a mix of GameStop's listings and the Game Informer has a list that they update.
Okay.
Do they?
All right.
Okay. Because I use GameInformer.com/news and don't check out much of the rest of the site. So yeah.
Yeah, they have basically a post that like they create towards the beginning of the year, or maybe the end of the previous year, and then they just keep updating it.
Trying to keep using Wikipedia.
I do have an update for this very podcast. We're having a big old schedule shift, so let me keep everybody straight. I'm going to try to do this with numbers of the days of the month and just like be extremely clear about it. So next week's podcast, which is 14th for early people, 17th public.
It's my birthday.
That's a regular podcast. Which one?
birthday.
14th or 17th? 17th. Birthday on a
I
Friday,
thought you
dude.
meant like which birthday? Like how old is he?
Saturday.
I was like, whoa.
Sorry?
Saturday. Friday?
Friday's when this podcast comes out. Did I get this mixed up or are you mixed up?
I think I'm mixed up.
Okay, you have a Friday birthday,
Friday,
dude.
Busy days.
Yeah.
The
There's a
EZA
calendar.
Podcast mix.
Saturday.
It
You
is a
got
Saturday.
Yeah, I knew it was a Saturday.
Well, that means
I
it's
thought.
16th. So it's 14th. Okay, 14th for people $5 and up on Patreon. 16th for public. 17th is Huber's birthday. It's
There we
nothing to
go.
do with the podcast at all. Thank you, Ian. We might have to fact check all of these. Okay, week after that. That's going to be the Gamescom solo cast. So I'm going to Gamescom, not to cover it with Easy Allies, but to help on Keely's opening night live. Follow Keely for details on that.
Scoops.
Scoops. We were going to do like a Q&A episode like we've done in the past, all love and respect, but how can you do that on Gamescom week when you're potentially like maybe Keely's got some scoops?
Maybe.
So, like, how
Some
could you-
Death Stranding,
Yeah,
perhaps.
how could you take that week off? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record the podcast really fast in my hotel room, probably a half-hour podcast, first ever Easy Allies
Wow.
podcast, solo podcast.
Nice.
Whoa.
Cool.
Yo, Keely is in Death Stranding.
He is.
He just is.
He's got to be,
is.
right?
Like, it's the culmination of
Yeah.
his life's work.
Yes.
There's no way he's not
Final
in Death
boss,
Stranding.
dude.
Everything he's done, every decision that he's made
Mm-hmm.
is for this moment.
I hope he voices a squid.
Yeah.
He's the voice of a squid.
And I hope that he like for
A friendly
game
squid.
for the Game Awards this year, he says like I'm out, I'm part of that game, so I clearly can't be a part of this process.
I want the Game Awards 2019 to just be like a 6-hour spoiler conversation for Death Stranding. And it has the biggest budget.
Yes.
I think he will probably be you'll get like one of those Last of Us style like hidden rooms you get in the house, and then there's like a note on the thing next to like a body or a skeleton, and at the end it's just signed like GK.
Oh, that's better. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
we work
good
on that
call.
kind of
GK.
thing. GK's in the game, but not the likeness of Mr.
And you have to find all the hidden Imagine Dragons discs.
It's a good idea. It's gonna be a fun game. Okay, so the week after that, we are officially in Easy Allies Phase 4. You'll learn more about that soon. But the reason why I have to talk about all this is that, hold on to your butts, this podcast will start recording on Thursdays that week. That is going to be a disappointment for many people because early access will be on Fridays, public access will be on Sundays. It is going to change fundamentally how you receive this podcast, but people who frequently listen to this podcast, watch this podcast, know we get hosed a lot by news stories that drop on Tuesday, drop on Wednesday, drop on Thursday, and then we talk about them 7 to 8 or 9 days late. It's a problem. It's a detriment to this podcast. So I realize it's going to suck for people who are just used to having the podcast on Fridays, used to having it on Saturdays or whatever. I do apologize for that, but I think ultimately this is going to be better for this podcast going forward.
And you can still get it on Fridays. Early access.
Yeah.
Why did you have to say it like that? Hey, and if you wanna. That'll be what the podcast will be going forward. We will record on Thursdays, release on Friday, early access, release on Sunday, publicly. Probably also going to eat some YouTube views going live on Sunday. YouTube tip, don't do that. But that's just how we got to do it. That's what we'll be doing going forward. Cool. We get to talk about EVO right now.
Evo.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
EVO is Evolution
EVO.
2019, the biggest fighting games tournament of the year, collectively. Ben, maybe we should kick off before we do the silly segment. We talk about all the news. You were there, man, for the
Yeah.
first time ever in
Yes.
Vegas.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about what that was like?
Yes, we can. Kyle, the thing that I want to start this off with is 2 points. I was actually a little, and I think part of the reason why I hadn't gone sooner, there were, I kept getting in my own way when it came to Evo because I was like, man, something I really enjoy about watching it from home is that I can have all these tabs open and I can watch all the different pools for all the different games, and like I don't feel like I'm missing anything. And so I was really worried going there that I would miss something. And I didn't go. It was nice because this like never gets to happen. I didn't go for work. I didn't go for Easy Allies. I wasn't doing any interviews. I wasn't competing. I was just going there as a fighting game fan, and it made me realize like I don't really get to do a lot anymore for that. Like anything that I do just as a fan, it becomes something else. Like it gets incorporated into my work, and there I just really got to be a fan. And whatever misgivings I had before, it was like the most energizing, like one of the healthiest experiences I feel like I've had like in such a long time, because nothing is better than the energy of that room. And like a good moment is like the Dragon Ball Fighters final match between Goichi and Sonic Fox. And, you know, spoilers for Evo if you haven't watched it. But when Goichi won, and he just like instantaneously burst into tears.
Yeah, man.
And you saw,
You feel it.
Yeah, you saw what happened, and just feeling the eruption around you. Like it was incredible, and it was like I just energized is like the word that comes into my mind. And like, you know, when you play online, or when you're like waiting for DLC or stuff, or when you have a bad experience or someone's salty, like you kind of form a bias against certain games, or you fall off of them for one reason or another. And like all that stuff, like all my misgivings that I've had with like Street Fighter V or Dragon Ball Fighters or whatever, or Tekken or whatever game it is, whatever things that were like annoying me about myself or with those games, it all just got put into the trash. And it was just the love that everyone had. Like, I haven't felt this since the first time I went to PAX East in like 2011. Like, everyone was there because they love fighting games, and everybody was excited. They were energetic. They were hyped about everything. And it was just awesome. It felt like the best, purest concentration of this genre.
Yeah, because in a way, I mean, there are other fighting game tournaments. It's so interesting that with the FGC, basically it's a fighting game community, right? It's not ever just one game.
Right.
Whereas, you know, like there are League of Legends tournaments, but it's like nobody's playing Dota there. Right. And so it's, well, actually there's some events in Europe. But anyway, I just love that it's just this one type of game, but a community is so focused in this type of game. And that it's just it seems positive.
Yeah. A good example of that is like, if you check, and I did, if you check Twitch chat during Evo, it's like you'll get, you know, shit posts of people just being like, oh, Smash sucks, isn't a fighting game, or this game is boring, move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
You don't feel that when you're there. You don't see that.
Yes.
You just see people who love this game, who have dedicated a portion of their life to trying to get as good as possible, and they're excited to compete, and they're excited to see others do well.
So were you on the stadium on Sunday?
So yeah, I was on the stadium on Sunday. Yep,
Cool.
Yep.
Where do you sit? What is the viewing experience like?
Yeah, so I was really nervous about this too because general admission seating is what I had. So there's floor seats and then there's general admission. We were in general admission, and so you're like on the sides of the stadium, kind of around this circle. And I was like, "There's no assigned seats. This is going to be chaos." There were actually plenty of seats. Like, it definitely filled up over time. We got there before. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get there for Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, but afterwards,
Which was in the morning, right? Is it early?
yeah, it was early. It was 10 a.m. And so like we were like trying to check out of my girlfriend and I were like trying to check out of the hotel, and I had like Blaze Blue on in the background, but we got there before Street Fighter V, and then seats started filling up and more people got in there for Tekken and stuff. But we were just in the arena. There were plenty of seats, and I was worried. I was like, man, maybe there aren't going to be that many people, but it got to a point where you looked around and it was just crazy. And when you have things like that Harada snake joke and people reacting it and trying to figure out what's going on, that's really, really fun. Just like, it was cool because it felt like you got to have conversations that would maybe be reserved for online or like a Discord or something were actually happening in real life, where it was like before the Arc system work announcement happened with the new Guilty Gear, people were theorizing like, what is this game? And they were talking about all these things. And they're like, hey, you know, is Soul Bad Guy going to appear in Tekken or whatever? And it was just fun having that surround you in a very physical sense. And then just the explosion of excitement that happened when it actually occurred. And obviously, like the Soul Calibur Samurai Showdown crossover was awesome. Haomaru in Soul Calibur, just really exciting.
This is gonna be a weird question.
Yeah.
Do people do drugs like they would for a concert in the crowds?
I don't know. I didn't see
That's a
that.
Kyle question.
Yeah, I didn't
Just
see
care.
that.
Like trying to get the vibes. You know what I mean?
Like
Is it
popping
concert?
pills or what?
Is it like no? You know, just you just see little puffs of smoke popping up.
I will tell you. I'll give you a story. It's not about drugs.
Sure.
There were no drugs in my time at Evo.
Okay.
But I will give you a story that was on the less good end of things. We've been very positive talking about the energy and all that sort of thing. But there was a guy. I don't know his name. Just some random person. Never met him before. It seemed like he hadn't showered. He just smelled very badly, and he had very long hair that was greasy. And we sat down, and then after some time he came and sat down in front of us. And it just went into your nostrils every once in a while. And like that sucks, but I could deal with it. He just had this like unnerving tendency to like lean his head back and like flip his hair around. And it was like he was just like trying to spread it to us. And it was just like, dude, stop. This is disgusting. And then like that, he was sitting there for some time. And then he just like he was like, oh, something's off. And then he just like started smelling his pit, like surrounded by people. And you're like, why? Don't do this.
So he smelled.
Take a shower.
He smelled his pit, and then what did he do afterward? He just stayed.
He just resumed. Yeah, he just resumed existing.
Sure.
And in a very normal fashion. That was bad.
Ben, we've played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons together. The way you described this guy sounded like a D&D NPC.
Yeah.
Just this guy was super, like the way you described his long hair, just full of sweat.
Yes.
Man,
It sounds to me like somebody is like, I want to go to Evo, but I can't afford a hotel room, so I'm going to sleep in my car.
fair enough.
But
Honestly,
the
hotels
car's
are very
probably
expensive.
nuts, like how hot it is in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, it was sweltering, by the
Yeah.
way. I think we checked the temperature on Sunday and it was like 105. So, but that's just one example. It was, I really had an excellent time. It's just a funny story. There was also, we were waiting in line for concessions, and there was this dad there with his kids, and I think the kids were there for Smash, but like when you walked into the arena, they gave you this Street Fighter fan. And he was just like saying like, hey, do you guys know who these characters are? And just like having that kind of father-son instruction moment. Like, this is Ryu. This is Chun-Li. This is Blanca. Yeah.
They should at least know Ryu. He's in Smash.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to talk about the game announcements that happened at Evo. When I actually listed them all out, a lot of announcements happened. And what I like about this is like this is the 1 week a year where we would talk about these. You know, like when a DLC character gets announced, normally we don't pick it up on this podcast, but collectively, I'm down.
Something about the game announcements that I think was so encouraging is pretty much for everything there, you're seeing tremendous support. And so it's not like, hey, these games are here at EVO 2019, and then we don't know what's going to happen. Like, I think every single one had major DLC. Even something like Soul Calibur 6, where I think people have been a little bit frustrated by the way things have been, the speed at which things have been coming out, and the lack of communication. It's like, no, there's so much life left in this. So.
It was funny. I don't know the director's name, the person from Arc System Works who announced, and we'll get out to all this, the new Guilty Gear game. Afterward, he comes out and he says, like, man, I realize that was a little short now, but I just wanted to show you something. You know, he like felt bad about his trailer not being more hyped up, and he didn't realize it until he saw it on the big screen. He's like, no, dude, you did great. Okay, so this segment is going to be called Forward This to Jamie. So we all have a friend named Jamie who likes fighting games but doesn't normally buy them. And we have to decide with each of these headlines, do we forward the news to Jamie or not? And
It's a bad game for me.
If there's a trailer involved, we do send the trailer as well. So that is a factor. We can't send it all to Jamie. Jamie does not want to deal with all of this stuff. Jamie is a dear friend. And we don't want to bother him, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh, we'll start with that one. Arc System Works creating a new Guilty Gear game for 2020.
I'm sending that to Jamie twice. Jamie's getting 2 emails, and the second one is, did you see this?
Yes, important. Jamie, please read. Go ahead.
I think with Jamie on this one,
Yeah.
this one is the easiest one to solve because he doesn't need to know anything about Guilty Gear. it's just like look at it.
Yeah.
That's what you put in the body of the email. This is how insanely gorgeous. Can you believe video games look at like this? So you can move it beyond fighting games. It's just like here we are as a medium.
Right. I'm honestly, Ben, like I was expecting it to look just like the last Guilty Gear game, and it looks like a step up.
Yo, when he gets knocked down to that other stage, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the way I would describe Guilty Gear to someone who doesn't know what we're talking about, potentially Jamie, it is 3D animation. It is like Guilty Gear long had great 2D sprites, and it's like none of that's compromised when it switches to 3D, where normally it is, right? Like King of Fighters, the 3D models look worse than the 2D models did. Somehow in Guilty Gear, that compromise isn't there, and all of the flips of hair still there, and the eyebrows are still animated in different ways.
Just the effects, the
Yes.
fire, the lightning.
Yep.
Is important, relevant question. Is Jamie into heavy metal?
I think Jamie, I'm gonna say like turn it down. I'm gonna say Jamie, maybe turn the music down a little bit. It's a bit much.
Okay. All right.
but you will enjoy the way this looks. Okay. Tekken 7 has a season 3. It's going to include Zafina and Leroy Smith, a brand new character, who's just like he's an older black man with a big gray beard, crazy sunglasses, and is like a martial arts expert. And the trailer's just him whooping up on all of the martial arts experts within Tekken.
Doing that Wing Chun, dude.
Doing that what?
Wing Chun, Ip Man style.
What does that mean?
It's like that dummy is like a Wing Chun.
Oh, I didn't know
dummy,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so like one of those poles that just has some sticks sticking
It's more
out
like
of
a
it.
defensive martial arts.
Season 3 will also have 2 other new characters, 1 new mode and 1 new stage. Do we forward this to Jamie?
I want to forward everything to Jamie, but
Yeah.
I think maybe as a way to sell this, you tell me if this is too overwhelming.
Sure.
I think just what Tekken has done for DLC has been like consistently surprising. Whether you care about Tekken or not, it's like kind of cool all the different directions they're pulling from the series itself, from other fighting games, from completely different properties. Can you also bundle it with like Negan and Noctis and do Leroy Smith and be like, look at all the crazy characters in this game and kind of try to do it as a...
I'm going to say Jamie's aware of those other characters, the DLC characters, but like didn't play them. But I do think it's a way in. It's like, hey, remember Tekken 7 who has Negan now? Check out the new characters coming to it.
I think while he's like eating his morning cereal, he could just have this on his phone.
Sure.
Be like,
Yeah.
hey, check out some sick martial arts. Check
So
out this
we
trailer.
got to be strategic about when we
Yeah.
send this email.
Yeah. This is like during his breakfast.
Zafina's a cool character. Like, she's a thirsty Fire Emblem archetyped, right? Like, she's just, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But the way she animates is like a freaky Voldo.
Right.
She's just like creeping and crawling and rolling all over the place. The strangest limb movements. I actually think she's a very unique fighting game character.
Yeah, this crazy devil hand
Yeah.
as well. There's a story in that trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a story in that trailer, which I think at the end of the trailer, like, that was all just for this trailer. It's not in the
Right, they're
game.
like, there's no, there's no story.
in
mode.
like a fine print. That was so weird. It lasted
Yeah.
for a long time. Cool looking character though. Interesting. Because a lot of fighting game characters can be samey. So neat to have something so unique. Soul Calibur 6. Okay, so we have the final DLC character of Season 1. It's Cassandra, who I think if you have Sophitia is like, okay.
No.
Oh,
So-
please.
Did you watch that Cassandra video?
Yeah.
The super, man, where she's throwing the shield against the character, like, and just the crazy throws that she's such a fun character. Like, I think it.
It looks the same to me. I wouldn't know.
But
yeah.
you watch that. I think that video is convincing.
Sure.
You got to watch the video.
I
and I think
think-
Jamie's got to watch the video.
I don't think Jamie would be convinced. I think you'd say the same thing as Bossman.
I think
Sure.
I think
Same
getting
weapon
Jamie to
type?
click on
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
Exactly. Looks as if they're sisters. Yeah.
He's like, wasn't this character
No,
already out?
There's a way around this. I think Jamie's really into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
Jamie
Jamie
has
is. I
seen
can confirm
every
that, yes.
MCU movie.
Yes,
I
I can
swear to God
confirm
he
that.
has.
Yeah.
Okay, you say check out Captain America. That's what you do,
got
and I
you,
think you are
yes.
being totally fair
That's
to
a
that
good
character.
in. That's a good in. But that's not all. There will be a season 2 against all odds for Soul Calibur 6, and first character announced for that, Haomaru.
Haomaru.
Thank you, Ben.
Yes.
From he's the cover boy. Of
That's how they say it in
Samurai
the game
Showdown.
anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, which is a little off, a little weird.
Wait,
but
what?
Sure.
He's got a sword. Everybody in Soul Calibur has a sword.
No, I mean the pronunciation is a little.
Oh boy, Blood. Okay. Tell us how you would pronounce Haomaru.
I mean, it's like how you said it the first time. It's Haomaru.
I've heard plenty of people pronounce it that way, but it's just when you pick Haomaru in Samurai Showdown, he goes like Haomaru.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's canon.
That emphasis. Haomaru.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Blood. Blood, are we forwarding this news to Jamie?
Um,
Uh-oh.
Yo,
I don't know. I haven't seen any of this.
Yo, I think
Somebody's
Jamie.
got to forward it to me.
I think Jamie uninstalled Soul Calibur, but
Yes.
since he's so obsessed with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is a collaboration.
It's
This is a
crossover.
team up.
Yeah, this is a huge
And
team up.
Jamie loves team ups.
Yes.
So
Now-
I think he's reinstalling.
Yeah.
I love where Huber is coming from with this. I really do. But I think this collaboration makes so much sense and is awesome. But I don't know if it's awesome if you don't know what Samurai Shodown is. Like, I just don't know. Like, do you just look at Haomaru and you just go like, oh, it's Mitsurugi? Like, what? And I don't want it. Like, it is so exciting. But
Yes.
how does Jamie feel about it?
Right, like Jamie, I would forward the 2B announcement to Jamie, right? Like Soul Calibur's going nuts. I don't know.
do you
if-
remember? Do you remember this is early Easy Allies stuff. Do you remember 2B.zip that Damiani pulled on stream?
I don't remember what he did on stream.
It
I
was
remember
like-
the reference.
It was Jackbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think McDangles was the same stream. Anyway, sorry.
That's the first. When you think of 2B, that's what comes
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
They had the Witcher guy.
God damn it, Kyle. Oh my God.
So that's what you forward to Jamie. You know what I mean? It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Jamie, the guy from The Witcher is in this game.
Right.
I don't know if Jamie's.
Like, I'd literally be worried that Jamie would say, isn't this character already in there?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay. All right. So
But you could just say crossover hype.
Crossovers.
crossover hype. So this one's hard for me because we got to talk about the Samurai Showdown announcements.
Yeah.
So this is exciting because, SNK is total underdog in terms of a developer.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to see them have success with a fighting game, with Samurai Showdown
Yeah.
in particular.
And the number of entrants for Samurai Shodown as well.
Oh, and the actual tournament
Yeah,
itself?
yeah.
It was cool. It was like the second biggest payout. And I think SNK put in money for that too, which I think is pretty cool.
I could be wrong. I think it had like 1,100 entrants, if I'm remembering correctly. I've looked at that list a couple times, but yeah, I still think very respectable.
That tournament, like, to me, it wasn't too exciting because it was just like Infiltration just dominating. It's like nobody could beat him somehow, and
Yeah.
he just beat everybody, and it's like they couldn't figure out how to beat Infiltration.
Well, just Genjiro, like, what do you do? He's
Yeah,
just-
apparently the character is just very good.
Genjiro's very good, yeah.
But there's going to be new characters coming every month for the rest of this year, I
Which
think.
is such a good way
Yeah,
to
it's
do
right.
it.
That's insane. That's really,
the
really
best.
cool. So Rimururu is coming in August. Shizumaru Hisame is going to be free in September. That's free for everybody. That's a boy with an umbrella. Basara in October, Kazuki Kazuma in November, and Wanfu in December. And then Mina Majikina is going to kick off season 2 in 2020. So they're already committing to a season 2 is the big news there, I think.
Like, how awesome is it that SNK is in this place? Like, you're getting Samurai Showdown back,
Yeah.
and you're introducing a lot of people to Samurai Showdown. Like, this is like I played Samurai Showdown back in the day, but this is like the first Samurai Showdown that it's like actually like, oh, I know these characters' names now. Like, I'm getting
Exactly,
familiar
yeah.
with it.
I've never really
Like,
known them, yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm getting familiar with it in a way that I totally wasn't before. And there's reason to keep checking back in, but also like they're at a place now where they're like they can do a now in development.
Yes.
How cool is that? King
It's
of Fighters
really cool.
15 now in development.
Yes. You know what? Let's tie that in because
Yeah.
we're talking about SNK. King of Fighters 15 was also announced. And I assume, Ben, it's going to look good. I assume it's going to look closer to Samurai Showdown than King of Fighters 14.
I hope so. I mean, that was just the thing that kind of people were beating King of Fighters 14 over the head with, and like I get it. I agree with Max when how a fighting game looks goes a long way, and it's really hard to fight against that perception. Obviously, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a very good example of that. But Yeah, I think so. I really like the way Samurai Showdown looks, and it seems like they're constantly striving to improve, to learn, to kind of capture the spirit of those older games, and find a way to do that more effectively in 3D. So I assume it's going to look good.
Yeah. So I mean, like where I think Samurai Showdown has success and it's style. It's just a stylish game.
Yeah.
And so I just hope the King of Fighters leans into that. As hard as they did with Samurai Showdown, and why wouldn't it with the success they found there? Cool. I mean, it's just so cool for a fighting game to find success. Always, I'm into it.
You know what sucks though? And it shouldn't be this way, so we'd have to find a creative way around it. I think with both the Samurai Showdown DLC and King of Fighters 15, how do we convince Jamie? I don't think Jamie opens up that email.
I don't think so either. I think maybe like next time Jamie's over, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
But I don't think Jamie's gonna open this.
Did Jamie go to arcades as a kid?
Only a little bit.
Okay.
He played a lot of
SNK nostalgia, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't have any?
I don't think so.
When you talk about arcades, Jamie always brings up the same game, Hydro Thunder. That's the
Yeah,
only game he talks about.
yes. Jamie
He
loved
only brings up
Hydro
Hydro Thunder.
Yeah.
Arctic Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hydro Thunder is great, but it's all Jamie talks about.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jamie.
We still have more. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. So this is, I might want to send this to Jamie because it needs to be seen.
Dude, you
So-
have to show Huber this.
Yeah, I do. So on November 21st, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle is just going to add 9 new characters all at once. So
Whoa.
instead of like beep, 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 it's just boop,
That's
boop,
cool.
duh. Yeah, I think it is an interesting take as well. 3 of the characters were announced. One's named Mikatsuki Huber. That's kind of neat. One is named Blitz Tank.
I did see a copy,
this is the-
actually.
Okay,
Did you
so,
see Blitz Tank?
No.
so this game is the game they're from is called the Katsuki Blitzkampf. And Huber, Blitz Tank is a tank. Straight
it's-
up a freaky tank with like a long neck and a skull at the end of it, and it takes up a tank space in a fighting game.
Okay, so in fighting games, you have player
the
one,
hell?
you have player one side and player two side. Blitz Tank is the entire half of the player one side. It's just towering. It's comical.
Yes.
It's so cool.
It's really cool. So I've never heard of the fighting game Akatsuki Blitzkampf.
I had
But
no
what an
familiarity with it
inspired
either.
choice, and then like you went for it. You
Yeah.
took the character like that is the most, I don't. Again, never heard of it. I assume this is the biggest deal character of that game. The weirdest weird pick, and they're putting it into this game. I really appreciate that.
Which is cool, right? Because like a lot of people ask for crossovers of the most obvious things, and you're getting, you're getting this, you're getting Senran Kagura, it's like you're getting Ruby, you're getting like things that aren't as well known but have dedicated audiences. Like it's cool that they have their own game to celebrate this stuff in.
Yeah. So can we forward this to Jamie? Just like maybe not even the
For the
game's
novelty,
title.
yeah, for the novelty.
I don't think we
the
even
tank.
mentioned what the title of the game is. It's just like, please check this out.
Yeah, you could go like all YouTube clickbaity on it. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I can't believe this character is in a fighting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Jamie's going to be annoyed at us by the end of the day.
Yeah, Jamie.
We're sending a lot of
Jamie will
emails.
block our email address, man.
Okay, Street Fighter V. E Honda, Poison, and Lucia all joining. Lucia was a character I was not aware of. That's a Final Fight 3 playable character. Totally dropped off my knowledge base, but it turns out all of these are 2 of them are returning Street Fighter characters, obviously, but they're all Capcom characters. They're not new, like G. They're available now. You can go download those characters today. So is this a big deal or not? Is this Jamie level deal?
I would send it to Jamie, dude.
Really?
E Honda. Iconic.
Well, you also get Honda's Bathhouse, which looks
Yeah,
really
dude.
good in Street Fighter V.
That bathhouse, top fighting stages.
Yeah,
ever.
actually, I'd go
One
in
of the
top
best.
10. It'd go top 10.
Yo,
I would
yeah.
I'd also say Street Fighter characters, it's hit and miss on how good they look. Like they've definitely had some characters where I'm like, that's not quite right. E Honda looks really awesome. Like just his model looks really good.
Yes.
In Street Fighter V.
Obviously, this announcement leaked. It was kind of a bummer for them. Steam leaked it by accident. Yeah.
Plug your leak, Steam.
Plug your leak, Steam.
Jeez.
Man, this
They
one's-
apologized. They did. They wrote a letter and they
Nice.
said, "We're sorry. We're fans of Street Fighter. We're sorry about this, and
wrote a
we've
letter.
went through measures to make sure this will never happen again."
Very
Oh,
cool.
boy.
Yeah. What?
Love a good apology.
They plugged the leaks.
Yeah.
I guess.
What? Okay.
It'll never happen again. I'm like,
It's gonna happen.
you did something, I hope, but
Kyle, this one's hard for me because like when this announcement leaked, I was like, cool, but it wasn't like hype. It
Yeah.
wasn't like Samurai Showdown Cross Soul Calibur levels of hype. But So I've played all 3 of the characters, and they're all fun. I would say like Lucia and Poison in particular are super, super fun. And so like I don't know, like I feel like actually getting hands-on time with these characters is more valuable than like the announcement itself.
What I think that is it though, Ben, because it's like even on this podcast, I said Kage's it for the game. It's dead after this. But this is 3 characters all at once suddenly.
Yeah.
And basically the season is complete almost because these are a whole new slate of DLC characters and they're available now. Instead of like, hey,
Right.
it's coming in the end of the month. It's like, boom.
And like let's say Jamie is like Street Fighter 5 is a dead game, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter anymore. I think you can also throw some evidence.zip at him where it's like, hey, Ono got out there and said we're like, don't talk about Street Fighter 6, I'm focusing on Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
Not only do you have these 3 characters at once, but you can expect more stuff. It's a vague, I don't know exactly what that means, but you can expect more stuff November, December.
Yeah.
As well. So it's like this game, it's getting
holidays.
some sort of support in the near future.
Which is pretty cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
Nifty.
Some Santa Claus skins for Zangief.
He might already
Yeah, he
have
might-
one.
he might already have
so many skins in that
There's
game right now.
there's a Halloween theme stage, and then there's a Christmas theme stage as well. So.
Nice.
And like so many sweet Capcom throwback costumes.
Oh yeah, dude.
Ben, when I started watching it, I actually like Googled stage KOs because I think it's one of the coolest things about Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
They weren't there at launch, but basically if you do like a heavy attack against an opponent for the knockout, they'll fly back off to the side of the stage and then
Yeah.
something cool will happen. You know, they'll
Nice.
get like pasta spilled on them
I
or
love that one.
they get slammed shut in some vault. And so I just watched a video that was like every stage KO instead of watching people play this fighting game live, and I truly enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so with E Honda stage, I am anxious to see what the stage KOs
Well,
are.
not every stage has a stage fatality.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is correct.
okay.
Bummer.
It's like probably the new ones, right? That where it's like a stadium.
Well, they added them to some old ones because like there's one there was like the first one that they showed off where now like if you do it you'll get knocked into a bus or you'll get like noodles on your head.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first stages. So it's
Can you do a stage KO where you get the interaction?
No. Sequel, dude. Good idea.
But no, I'm just saying like E Honda just gets in the hot tub.
Yes. He should. Like, I
Okay.
did so well here, I'm going to go take a little bath right now.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so every time they do a new character in Street Fighter V, they have these character story modes.
Yeah.
And some of them are just bad. Like some of them aren't even like cute. Like some of them are just you're just like, really, that was it. But E Honda's strikes the right tone to me.
Ooh.
I really enjoy it. So
Okay.
like he's doing this like grand opening of this bathhouse, and you get different Street Fighter characters coming into his bathhouse. Bathing, and he like they're getting all ready to relax, and he sticks out his hand and he's like, hold on, you have to follow this rule. But before he tells them the rule, you have to fight.
Yes.
And it's just it's you don't really learn anything super substantial. It's not like this deep story mode, but it's very, very funny.
It's the language they know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janemba and Gogeta were revealed for
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters. Of course, they were already announced, but this is the first we got to see gameplay for these two characters.
So hype.
I think that was supposed to be an announcement for Janemba. I think it was like accidentally leaked on some Xbox thing like months ago. But we got to. You love Janemba?
Dude, movie 12 is one of my all-time favorite
How do you remember it's even movie 12?
Because it's one of the greatest of all time.
Is it legitimately?
Dude, it's so fun. It's so cool.
So Janemba looks like a purple devil.
yeah.
He has
Not
like
at first, though. He like turns into it.
even in the
Gets
game he
real.
does. He starts
So
off as like a
cool.
little yellow puff,
So sick.
and then he like keeps the voice though. It sounds like he's like Yeah, okay. All right.
I loved that movie growing up.
So Kyle, this was one of those like trailers where I'm not familiar with Janemba, and like if you're like this is the new DLC character, it didn't immediately excite me, but that trailer sold me. Like the way that they presented his character and how cool he looked was awesome.
So you're saying we're showing this to Jamie?
I don't know, does Jamie like Dragon Ball?
Jamie loves Dragon Ball.
Like
Show
Hasn't
do you-
watched any Super.
Let me put
but,
it to you. Let
yeah.
me put it this way: how do
Yeah.
you not get excited about Gogeta?
Yeah.
How do you not get excited about Gogeta?
Well, I mean, there's already Vegito.
Yeah.
And so, like, explaining to Jamie the
Gogeta's
difference
cooler.
between Gogeta and Vegito is going to take a second.
No, but like, okay, let's be real talk. If you like Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
You're in.
you're not gonna get sick ever of Goku and Vegeta fusing.
Yes.
You don't even need to know anything about it. It's just hype.
From what I understand, Vegito is more of a Goku dominant personality, whereas Gogeta is more of a Vegeta dominant personality. and they're based off of two
See, I
different
thought it
types
was-
of fusion.
I thought it was the other way around because Vegeta is the earrings and then
Yes.
Gogeta is the fusion dance.
Yes.
Yes. But I thought Vegeta was Vegeta dominant and Gogeta was Goku dominant.
Let us
I always
know.
thought
Let us know. Jones,
I always
Jones
thought
is
that.
gonna love going through some Dragon Ball. Save it for when Jones is back. We're gonna correct all of this stuff. Finally, we have to decide if we're gonna forward this to Jamie. Under Night in Birth EXE late in brackets CL-R is coming early 2020.
This one's hard just because
What's
I don't
the
know.
new part of that title?
The clear part, in the brackets, the clear.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay. So I don't know anything about Under Night. I
Yeah.
just don't. My experience with it is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. But just like hearing the stories of how passionate the community is, hearing people just like constantly rep that game, like people are out there all the time talking about how good it is. And like even just the little bit that I watched, it was really exciting to watch. And so like I've purchased it. I haven't played it yet, but I love when games have that storyline where it's like they're just getting by on quality and passion.
Yeah.
There is no bullshit with Under Night. Like the people who are repping that game, who got it to the point that they got it to, they got there just because they love the game. And I think that's a good sell to Jamie. How is that not a heartwarming story?
I think we gotta save it. To me, this game is like it's like when they say he's a comedian's comedian. You gotta see this guy. He's a comedian's comedian.
I now hate everything that I said.
And so I think like this is like it's like a fighting game. And
Yeah.
so like I think Jamie's gonna see our emails and then maybe become impassioned, and then maybe next year we introduce.
So we write the draft.
Yes.
We write the draft.
Yes, you know what I mean. I think it's early. I think Jamie might not be prepared for some Under Night. We got to go broad. I think. Do you all hear that? It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of August. Car Keys Express. If you need a replacement car key or a remote, check out carkeysexpress.com/store. Use the coupon code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 10% off of your order. They are proud sponsors of Easy Allies. El Fanis. Our gifted sponsor is SOS Children's Villages. Children's are at the heart of everything SOS Children's Villages does, regardless of where they are in the world. SOS Children's Villages is the largest non-governmental organization dedicated to the long-term care of orphaned and abandoned children across the globe. For more information and to donate, the link is in the description. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Or at least that Good Business Lawyer's YouTube and podcast series, Virtual Legality. Check it all out at youtube.com/HOEG Law or on your favorite podcast service. And our mega sponsor, ViewSonic. It goes without saying that gaming relies on fast reaction times, and if you're often finding yourself on the losing end of those nail-biting standoffs, the problem might not be your performance, it might be your monitors. With ViewSonic Elite's expansive line of gaming monitors, users are delivered the performance modern gaming requires. Take the 24-inch XG240R. With its blazing fast 144Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time, you'll experience the hyper-responsiveness of esports pros. And with the XG240R's fully customizable RGB backlighting, users can sync to partnered hardware to illuminate their gaming atmosphere. Learn more about ViewSonic Elite by visiting viewsonic.com/elite. And for giveaways and updates, follow @ViewSonic Gaming on social media. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Listeners, you're going to miss out on this, but Daniel Bloodworth is now sipping on a little can of Red Bull. Daniel Bloodworth, can you tell me who is on that can of Red Bull?
Oh my gosh, Ninja's on the Red Bull.
Correction. Mixers Ninja. Is
Yes, yes. That is our next headline.
That's so funny.
We're going to talk about Ninja, who is, as I was like writing this stuff down, he's not the most popular streamer, but he is, I think, the most famous streamer.
He has become associated with the concept of streaming in a really
Yes.
weird way.
Yeah. And so like while people were doing better numbers than he was, like by the time he left Twitch, like he's the guy who gets to be on Ellen.
There are kids that are like, "Mom, I'm gonna be the next ninja."
Yes. And that is his level of basically clout. What's up, Blood?
Oh, it's just a funny thing to think of because it's like, I mean, I guess in some ways, like, there's a Venn diagram of just like, like it could happen to anybody, it's seemingly. But at the same time, I feel like you might have a better chance of becoming like an Oscar-nominated actor. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I'm not prepared to have a conversation about how talented Ninja is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To Ninja's credit, every time I've watched Ninja play
so
Battle
good.
Royales, he's
so
ridiculously
good.
good.
Yeah, you
Sure.
have to be
Yeah.
good.
It just feels like one of these things where just lightning just happening to hit. Like,
Oh, I mean, like you couldn't calculate the odds because no one has the streaming success he has right now.
yeah.
This is an unprecedented deal. We still don't know what money was exchanged, but last week, Microsoft's Mixer exclusively purchased Ninja. Basically, Ninja will be streaming exclusively on Mixer, leaving Twitch behind entirely. Twitch was, the platform of his success where he got to this point, and now he'll be streaming only on Mixer, a streaming service that to this point is mostly mocked on this very podcast. And so that's basically why I want to cover this. You know what I mean? We don't talk about like streamer news too often. We don't typically care. But I think because this is Microsoft's Mixer is maybe where it intersects with this gaming news podcast.
It reminds me of sports.
Yeah.
Like they signed him. They signed him.
Yep.
Like, all right, we'll give you $2 million a year for the next 5 years.
I want to know because
Like
in
$10
sports, you know
million
exactly
deal.
what the
Yeah.
number is.
Yeah. So it's probably just something crazy like that. He couldn't say no to, an offer he can't refuse. Mm-hmm. Goes over, and that's
Well,
that.
I mean, everyone gets free subs to his channel.
Yes.
For the first month.
That's a big deal.
Very.
Streaming is just so interesting because it's just so personality focused. Like Ninja is not like I don't have anything against Ninja, and I've definitely watched Ninja, and I've enjoyed it well enough. But he's not like my guy. Like you build up that follower list. Like you have the people that you really like.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where you're coming back for them. And so this was like one of those gaming news stories where I'm like, this seems like a big deal, and I just don't care. And
Sure.
it's not. There's no anger there. It's just like I wasn't gonna watch him anyway. So it's. Yeah.
So I guess my question to the panel is then, did Microsoft buy Ninja beyond this? Do you think they want him to market things beyond just streaming on Mixer?
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, but I think this is kind of the point of no return with Mixer. I feel like we've hit.
What do you
This
mean?
is kind of their, pushing some chips in the middle because I feel like
This is a big chip.
yeah, because like Mixer, it doesn't seem that big at all.
Yeah.
And like we always make fun of it. It feels like a joke. I don't know if that's because I hang out with you a lot, but to me, anytime I think of Mixer, I kind of laugh. Like it just seems like a joke. So this feels like a power play by Microsoft to kind of raise the credibility of the platform and push it forward. And if it gets bigger or not, this is kind of that move.
But when you're in that position where something else is just so normalized and expected, like, don't you need to make those kind of power plays?
Yeah, I mean, it's a modern power play.
Right.
It's kind of interesting, right? It is.
Throw money at it.
It's throw money at it, and it's just I wonder if there's a conflict of interest there. You know what I mean? I wonder if he has to stream on Microsoft's services. You know what I mean? Like if he can't use a PlayStation 4 to stream God of War or something. Like I wonder what deal he has.
The thing is like I don't think for either side. I think it's a win-win situation because Ninja already has a very large dedicated audience that wants to just be there for him. And from Microsoft's side, say when Gears of War 5 comes out, like in that launch window, in that first week, they're going to want eyeballs on it.
Yeah.
If you can just get Ninja to stream it for a week, not only do you get that immediate rush of eyeballs, but you have one of the biggest names in the game doing it. And then it's like, Ninja, whatever, man. If you want to like stop playing it immediately after, that's fine. We both benefited from this, and then you can go do whatever you want. You can go randomly stream more Final Fantasy 11, which he does sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like, as long as I think, I don't know. I don't know the nature of the deal, but it seems like beneficial enough to both because the requirement doesn't seem that strict. It's not like you're a Gears of War streamer now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny to me. I literally just thought about this, but like it's kind of funny that because Epic basically is doing the same thing, right? Just like throwing their money around.
Precisely.
And
this,
like
yeah.
everyone's mad about that, but I haven't really heard any backlash about this. Like no one cares, no one's mad about it, or are they?
Mixer, I think, is like a fine service. You know what I mean? There's less to be mad about with Mixer than there is Epic Game Store. Whereas like Mixer, sometimes is even like better than Twitch.
Yeah, do they do 4K and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
I think they do a higher resolution streams. Yeah, they might. 4K. Yeah. So like.
Well, and they do the multi-stream natively too. Yeah.
Can I say something about Twitch? Like
Sure.
I was at my wit's end, so we were like
Ooh.
we were getting lunch at Evo, and I like pulled up Twitch on my phone because I wanted to continue watching the tournaments. But you have in between matches, you have people getting into seats to compete and getting out of. So I wanted to like switch from game to game as downtime required it to. Every time I went to a new Evo stream, I got 2 more ads.
Yeah.
Every time, and I just went insane with it. And I'm like, this has gotten worse, and this is like not like, come on.
Yeah.
Pay up.
And I did. You know what? I did. I was like, I googled like, how do I stop this?
And you sub to Evo.
No, I didn't sub to Evo. I got Twitch Turbo.
They won. They won, baby.
They won.
They won.
They beat me. They beat me. And you know what?
Oh my god.
It was
You're not
worth
looking back. You're not looking back.
Didn't have to see those Discover commercials or whatever.
I'm thinking about it for YouTube, man. I'm hating YouTube ads these days. Thank
Dude,
you to anyone watching our YouTube ads, but like really, I can't. Like, oh,
I
How
accidentally
many
got
times have you seen
YouTube
a
Red.
Snagit ad?
I don't know what snag. I don't know what that is.
I can almost recite that ad. Like word for word, I've heard it so many times.
What is a Snagit?
It's like some software device where it's like, now it's even easier to use Snagit 2019. And then you know what is amazing about that ad? They have the cojones to like the way they talk about it. It's like, you already use Snagit every day. It's like, no, I don't.
I've never heard of you.
Yeah, that really riles me up. The arrogance.
It's an interesting.
I guess it's a screen capture software.
Snag it.
Snagit.
Yeah, you can like capture your screen and record video. We've promoted Snagit on the spot.
Oh, they got it.
They
got us too.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they
got
made Camtasia. That's like old school screen capture trash.
Camtasia. What's up, Blood?
I know. I just think it's an interesting dilemma of like the on-demand side of things because you don't get that problem with TV because the TV like decides when the ads are going to show up. Like you can flip between 2 different ball games, no problem, because the ads are going to come on, when there's a timeout or a break or whatever. Or that like Twitch is just like, oh, you switched to a new channel, here's your ad, like every single time. Like,
Yeah.
It's an insane oversight.
Yeah, and that's what would be so annoying about it is like you would check into a stream, see that nothing is going on, be there for seconds, and then switch to another stream and get hit with ads again.
Or like reloading the same stream.
Sure.
And
yeah.
it's like, I'm going to make sure you're watching this ad. Yeah, they're very persistent about it. I don't think that'll improve. I don't think that'll change despite what Mixer does.
People,
But I do think I think there are ways that they could make it improve without it like terribly negatively affecting them, and like just tracking like how many ads an individual has seen. If you saw an ad within the last minute, you should not see another ad.
I think the beautiful thing they do is they do. You never need to say do twice. I think the beautiful thing they do is that they do say when you're watching that ad, this ad helps support the person you're watching. And so I think that is actually nice. It makes you feel better
Sure.
for watching the stupid commercial for Snagit.
but then so I
Oh wait, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've been saying that for years. Like
we get
that
ad
for a
revenue
very
from
long time, Twitch has been like, this ad directly supports whoever. And that's great, but now but my attitude has turned on it where I'm like, this is just emotionally manipulating.
It is, yeah. It is absolutely. That's the whole point.
Them too. It's helping them too.
It's helping them more than it's helping
like,
us.
way more.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that we got ad revenue from Twitch.
Compared
we
to
do.
Twitch Prime though, it's minuscule.
It's like nothing.
yeah.
Boy, I tell you, I accidentally got YouTube Red at the time. Now YouTube whatever premium. Hoo-wee! I never look back. Every time I see an
It's
ad
so
now, I'm just like,
expensive.
what the hell is this?
Dude, it's like, what is it, like $15 a month?
No, it's like 10.
No,
mine
it's
was
more than
bundled-
that. It's more than 10.
I got it bundled with Google Music Unlimited or whatever back in the day, and I like grandfathered in, I guess. I don't know. I just have it. But it's so worth it. I hate ads.
I think it's very funny, but I don't think it's fair to our viewers to not acknowledge Jones just hanging out behind you.
Who?
I don't think it's fair to not bring that up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right. Okay. Maybe he'll be back soon.
Yo, the best weapon against ads though is to just have another tab of like a long like article you're reading. Ad
When
comes
you're on your phone, it's
read it.
harder to do that.
Way
That's what
harder
I'm
on your
talking
phone.
about.
Way
Sure.
harder on your phone for you.
Yep.
For sure.
This story I want to blaze through, but I think it's really interesting because
Blaze blue.
Blaze Blue,
You want to
dude.
blaze through?
Blue,
You want to
dude?
blaze blue?
No, dude, I'm way more into Guilty Gear. Because we've talked about this particular developer a bunch on this podcast, and I have the viewers' consensus on this. And Huber, you might be interested in this. WWE 2K20 has been announced.
Yeah.
Along with this announcement came the announcement that Yuke's will no longer be developing any WWE games.
Ukes is out.
Yuke's is out.
Oh.
So what had been happening is Visual Concepts has been assisting in development. Visual Concepts is, I would have never known this before today, the people who developed the NBA 2K games, which are, massively successful. Yeah. So they will be doing all WWE games solo by themselves going forward, starting with WWE 2K20. And you might be a person who listens to this podcast and not caring about WWE games, but I was looking into this. This is pretty interesting. So, Yuke's, who our audience says is bad. Yuke's bad was the predominant comment. I asked just say Yuke's good or Yuke's bad, and just a lot of Yuke's bad.
Finally out.
Huber, they've been developing
Used to be good.
WWE games since WWF, since the year
Back in the
2000. They made every year at least one wrestling video game officially licensed by WWE.
When it went to 2K, everything fell apart. WWE 2K. Tried to go for more realistic sports entertainment. No, dude. No.
So Visual Concepts, again, the NBA 2K developers, they started assisting in 2K14, which is 2013 is when they hopped on to help make them. I wonder if this is when they start going realistic. I don't really know that turn. And then, Yuke's apparently has been unhappy with this yearly churn.
Yeah.
They're
I
not
would
happy with the
imagine.
quality that they're able to put these games out in. And so, Huber, I got some fun facts.
Yeah.
Did you know Yuke's made a Pacific Rim game
What?
for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3?
What?
How have we not played this
How
video game?
have I not heard of this?
Yuke's made it, man.
Dude, you're in the credits.
Yeah. We gotta play. We gotta find this game and play it.
Official?
Regardless of quality. Yes.
Dude.
Regardless, we just have to play
I
that.
failed.
Okay.
Everyone
I
has
feel
failed.
like I only know one thing that Ukes has made.
Which is what?
Earth Defense Force Iron Rain.
Yes. Yeah. That was just this year or last year, very recently. They made that game, which is stretching out. But
It was okay.
How did nobody tell me about this Pacific Rim game?
I have no idea. It must have been dreadful, dude.
Is it
It
mobile?
must be so bad.
It's a
Life is
360,
full of little
PS3.
surprises.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It must have been buried if it's like we have no idea about it.
Yeah.
But Yuke's admitted to creating their own wrestling IP game a while ago. It makes way more sense now that I guess they had to wait for this game to be announced before they could say we're not working on it. But yeah, they're making their own wrestling IP that they can be proud of, while poor Visual Concepts is now having to deal with the annual churn.
Sucks. The annual churn.
Yeah.
It
But
just-
it's like
not
sports
only-
games. I think like WWE is like a sports game. You have to do a game every year, right?
Do you though?
You don't.
You
No.
don't. You don't. Like, especially nowadays when we're going into the whole seasonal content and all that whole.
Hubert turned into a 60-year-old.
like, oh, this seasonal content. Season passes and we're.
My day, I could
Well, I
go
remember.
to the drugstore and
Didn't
get
need
a
a roadmap.
copy of Aladdin on the Genesis, and that we were happy for 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any console executives or if it was just journalists, but I remember when we first started getting hard drives and online services and stuff, that was one of the pitches. It's you won't have to buy the sports game every year because they can just update it. They can just give you the new roster, and everyone's like, there's no money in that. You know, but
Yeah.
but you think about it, like now we actually kind of do have the means to put money in that. Like you could figure out a way.
But they're not close, man, because they sell so well. Madden would never do that. FIFA would never do that because they start you off with $60 and then you're paying for booster packs after that. Just no incentive.
WWE nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
definitely had that experience with Street Fighter V, checking out the new characters. Because there was, like, I really wanted the Poison. There's this Poison costume that she had that was really cool.
Which one?
So it's a story mode one. You see her in it in the beginning of story mode. And I think it's the best costume that she's got. But, like, it's just the process of getting it is so lame. Like, you have to do the story mode. Then you unlock the ability to either buy it with fight money or purchase it. It's not like...
Did you have enough fight money?
I did have enough fight money.
Okay.
But, and this is also how they get you. I don't know if, maybe this is just some weird Ben thing, but I was like, you know... I don't know if I want to spend my fight money on this.
Yeah.
I had about 100K fight money. I was like, I don't know.
Oh, because you could get a stage.
Yeah,
with
you
that
could-
kind of money.
yes, yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe there'll be stuff down the line that I want. So I'll pay the $3.99 or whatever it was for the costume. But like, I think the new characters are fun. I'm having a good time with them. It just like it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Where
For
it's
sure.
like, how cool would this have been? Where it's like, hey,
you go.
you got the character, you played through the story mode. Here's a nice little bonus. Here's a nice little thing for you to unlock. So I thought that was lame.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I looked into it, and Pacific Rim came out on July 12th, 2013 for the Xbox 360. Has a 39 on Metacritic.
Oh,
wow.
We have to play
They
this.
were more excited when you said
It
that.
gets weirder. It came out a couple of months later on PlayStation 3, and only one person reviewed it. And then it came out the day after. The day before. Weird. It came out the day before on iOS. Came out the day before the 360 one. The best scoring version, 48.
It's probably not made by Ukes, right? Is a mobile one by Ukes as well?
That's not listed here, but yeah, very strange.
Video
that
game
doesn't seem
history,
like it.
dude. We gotta find
Yeah,
it. We
what?
gotta find that. You know what? It's time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
It was listed. Reliance Big Entertainment UK Private Ltd.
Hey, Reliance big. They're good. You need a mobile port? You gave it to Reliance. Okay, this one, we don't get these often, and I'm so happy to have this comment. Here we go. It's from Brian Kruger. Hello, allies. I listened to Ken Stan's game in last week's Love and Respect with some amusement. Last week we played a game called Make It a 10. We had a time travel device. We could travel back to any game developer and whisper one thing into their ear before they put their game out to make it a 10.
Fun.
You see, I was the lead producer for Factor 5's PS3 title, Lair.
Oh.
While Brad's advice, lose the 6-axis, was not wrong, I thought I'd take the opportunity to share the biggest lesson I learned from the development of that game, in the hope that it is valuable to any allies or listeners who want to make their own games.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. It is this. Build the prototype first. Iterate on the prototype until it is fun without any of the polish. Don't be afraid to kill your babies, as Ian would say. Lair, Ian, shout out. Lair actually did have analog stick controls from day one, at retail at least, but the 6-axis marketing push did damage the game's development in one specific way. We were looking for ways to enhance the physicality of the dragons, and there were competing prototypes for dragon melee combat. One was a rudimentary punch-out style fighting game, and the other involved motion controls and whacking the dragons into each other. We didn't have the resources to finish both. The punch-out was, in many of our opinions, the best option with the most potential and depth, but in the end, we were forced to finish both mechanics because of 6-axis. Splitting our time and not getting the prototypes right made both mechanics unsatisfying. I know this message is already so long that it probably won't make the podcast. Gotcha. But I have to share this quote. There was an argument about whether the dragons in Lair could have magical abilities. Some on the team wanted these, but at one point it was shot down with the phrase, A real dragon wouldn't do that. If anyone ever gets too pedantic about what's realistic in your made-up fantasy world, just remember how stupid "a real dragon wouldn't do that" sounds as an argument. Also, big thanks to Damiani for the Battle of Naboo shout-out. We're already proud of that little gem on the N64. Woo!
Nice.
Brian Kruger, thank you for letting us into that insight.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Calling out that person who's a real dragon wouldn't do that. And the dragons could have had magical abilities.
I hope that a real dragon couldn't do that guy is also a listener and
Yeah, we get that one next week.
I feel like everybody needs that message every once in a while. Maybe there should just be like a human being requirement every 6 months where it's like, hey, like, don't forget to have fun. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget to have fun.
Oh, and I totally get the prototype thing too. I think that especially with launch titles, you can be pressured to put out a flashy game.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially think about it, like the launch of a brand new system, especially coming off of something like the PS2, where you saw it evolve so much over the course of its life.
Lair looked crazy.
Yeah, Lair looked crazy.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, hey, that the team that made the best GameCube games, well, best looking GameCube games, is now making a PlayStation game? Sick. And then it just shut them down. It sucks so much.
I feel like that has changed though, in video games, where obviously the way something looks is still talked about and obsessed about to a certain degree, but it's not like it was to me at the beginning of like the PS2 or the PS3 life, where it was an end-all be-all. Like, I just don't see that as much. I feel like we're more willing to forgive like visual discrepancies if the game supporting it is worth it. And I love that.
It's because I feel like every game looks amazing now.
Yeah.
Like I always joke around like that. Like I don't know, maybe because it's just we grew up with
Crud,
but it's like,
Yes.
God, I just can't remember the last time I looked at a game and was like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. Because I remember last gen, Unreal, if your game's made in Unreal, it's like, oh. You know,
You
like,
gotta deal with the pop-in.
Brown
Yes.
You
and
expect
gray.
a certain look. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
even with the Transformers, like Transformers has an Unreal Engine game, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you have
Blocky.
Guilty Gear being made in Unreal.
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't have predicted that in the past. Yeah.
Everything looks good in
Everything
Unreal.
looks so good.
To an extent. Thank you for that comment. I love that. Let's do just the fastest game ever. So I don't like to do Metascore games, but I like to make exceptions of myself. Hey, allies, I'm here with a game. I'll give you a Metacritic score of a video game, and you have to guess if the user score is over or under the Metascore. Okay, here we go. This is from Pokey Clyde. All right, Witcher 3, Metascore, 9.1. Are we going over or under?
Over.
Over wins, but just by 0.1. So actually, I'll give you the Metascore going forward. The Metascore is 9.1. The user score, 9.2. Fortnite. Score, 8.5. Over, under.
Under.
Over.
Under.
Lower, yeah.
Super under, 3.6.
Whoa.
That's the
You're-
internet incarnate
Yeah,
right there.
You're fine. You're
Internet
cool.
incarnate.
You really showed them.
Yeah. Man.
Cool. 0 out of
Dude,
10 review, dude.
Epic Games is like crying at night over that.
Yeah.
In their $100 bills.
How many of those votes are because of things that happened this week or
Like,
unrelated games?
Right. How much of that is like reactionary stuff for sure? I think that's a good point.
Halo 3. Metascore, 9.4.
Oh, it should be over, but I'm going to say
Under.
under.
Lower by
I'm
a
gonna
little
say
bit.
under.
Yeah.
Hard to get over 9.4, but user score, 7.9.
Hey, do you know what game deserves it?
Huh.
Halo 3.
Yeah. Is it 9.4, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's not go crazy, give it a 9.5. But
No,
like
give it
9.4, 9.4, we can like,
I'd probably give it. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling good about Halo 3 right this second. I would give it like a 9.6.
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do an easy one.
Too many bubble shields.
Mass Effect 3, Metascore, 8.9.
Oh, under.
Yeah, under,
Way
obviously.
I
under.
thought you
Obviously
said
under.
like 0.5.
Yes. User score is 5.8. So, I mean, some people love it. Some people still love Mass Effect 3, are willing to
No, but
acknowledge there's
that's,
something
I mean, that's
there.
just the controversy speaking, right?
Yeah. Still 8.9, it's pretty high. Nier Automata, Metascore, 8.8.
Over.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
8.9 is the user score, so
Yeah.
just a little bit over. It's hard to get over it.
The
like,
people know.
the people know. Do they know? Do you know?
They do know.
Jump Force, Metascore 5.6.
Over.
Over, dude.
Way over.
Anime
Under?
team-ups.
It's under blood.
Really?
4.1 for the
You
Jump
know what?
Force.
They're right, though. I
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
they're right.
Yeah.
They're right.
Sometimes you can sense some blindness, and some. You
Yeah.
know what? You called it like it is.
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
There's no way it's
Under.
not under.
I can't believe. Yeah, right. There's no way that it's not
I
under.
can't believe it's not under.
The Metascore is 5.3 for that, which is already appalling.
That's.
Under.
I mean, okay. Ooh. This is a shitty thing to say, but my heart tells me that's the Fallout name.
Oh, to even get up to 5.3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no evidence for that.
Yeah.
And probably
I
shouldn't
mean,
say that.
what's interesting is now, like, there are definitely more and more people coming to the game's defense. So
Yeah.
I could see it creeping up. but
Even
I don't-
even
that's a
in
good
our
point.
comment section, actually,
Yeah.
people are like, "Hey, stop making fun of Fallout. It's good
People
now."
people are finally making their own like stories.
Yeah.
I guess.
User score 2.8 though.
Whoa.
You showed them. Evil Within 2.
Why are you hurting me?
Metascore 7.6.
Over.
Over.
Way over.
Please be over.
It's over, baby.
much?
8.5.
Full point.
They got
pretty
it
much.
right. They
Yes.
got it right.
Perfect. Perfection.
Last one. Shenmue 1 and 2, that combo. Metascore 7.5.
Over.
the HD collection.
Under.
Over. Definitely over.
Yeah, I don't think the unders are gonna.
people
target.
know.
Why are they picking on Shenmue?
It's over.
It's over. There we go.
7.9 for
Yeah.
the user
Bloodworth
score.
was defeated.
Yes. I didn't think they'd come out of their way.
Oh, I'm sorry. We actually
Fortnite, they're coming out of their way.
Wait, what is
to
this?
shit
Sorry,
post.
what are you talking about?
we have one more actually. We have one more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is Doom on PS4. So the recent one. Metascore 8.5.
Over.
Over.
Under.
Over.
And people are saying play it on PC. And you know, how can you blame them?
Ben, you called it, dude. 8.3. It's under.
Obviously.
Just barely. I want to get to one.
I'm just kidding.
One last love and respect, but I bet that's what it was, man. It's like, hey, this is not the but hey, it's on Switch
It's
now.
totally fine to play it on whatever you want.
Last week, we got like more comments than ever about this one love and respect submission, and I think even here on this panel, we were maybe maybe a little cruel to the person who wrote it, but. Person turns out has a great sense of humor. Love and respect. Thanks for the discussion of my post last week. Love thirsty will use Prof N. Thank you for having a good humor about that, Prof N. Appreciate it. It is now time for bets. There's gonna be a Pokemon Direct tomorrow morning. If you're watching this
Wait,
podcast,
It's not a direct.
it's a Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
Pokemon stream, whatever, a
Update.
video, an
Pokemon
update.
update.
Pokemon update.
Check in.
Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. It's already happened if you're watching this podcast. We're going to guess at this point next week how many thumbs down will be on the YouTube upload of that video. Just for reference for everybody at home, if you want to bet as well, I went to the most recent Sword and Shield video officially on the Pokemon channel. It's called Gigantamaxing Changes the Game in Pokemon Sword and Shield. That has 4.46 million views, 74K thumbs up, 30K thumbs down.
That-
Which is pretty not good. Not good.
That voice, I want you to know, like it gets in my head. It colors the bet, man.
Yep. That's to me what the voice sounds like when they make a video. Okay, Daniel Bloodworth, how many thumbs down on that video?
I'm gonna go 5K.
Ooh, a big turnaround.
I know that could be seen as a little low, but I feel like number one, we've had enough Pokemon videos to where this probably won't get as much traction, and I also think that there's it's less likely that they're gonna do something in between now and next week that's going to upset people in the same way as all.
This
the
video
Pokedex
might be
announcements.
awesome. This video might be incredible. No, they'll feel forced to give it a thumbs up. Ben, what's your bet?
I think it's a bad bet, but I said 15K.
Okay, Michael Huber.
25,437. Everyone's pissed.
Yeah, 31K. I do not doubt that people are not
Everyone's
holding
pissed.
a grudge against this game. Ian Hink.
26K.
Okay, all right. There's our K's. Let me lock that in. Got to talk about last week's bet. Oh, Ian, I'll need you on the assist while I
Okay.
load this up.
What am I doing?
Madden NFL 20 was released on August 2nd.
Mahomes.
Yes. So I went to NFL.com.
Are you getting this one because
Ian's gonna do
Mahomes is
that.
on the cover?
Nah. Apparently he talks to you.
You're not getting
If
this?
you make a creative player, apparently Mahomes comes and talks to you.
Kyle, man.
Blood, I don't know who Mahomes is.
So we're going to
Kyle's
I
NFL.com.
don't have a clue what this man looks like.
They rank the jerseys. He's got curly hair. Where will the Mahomes jersey rank amongst the top-selling jerseys on NFL.com? Blood, you said it would be in the M category. Damiani bet 8. Brad bet number 3. I bet number 1. Ian bet number 4. Ian, where's Mahomes in the top-selling jerseys?
Okay. So last week I said I checked live.
Uh-huh.
It was number 1 last week.
Oh, wow.
Things have changed. Now it's
no.
number 2.
Ooh, that's a split win.
So,
Wait, so give me
yeah.
the top 5, actually. I'm super
Top
curious.
5. So I've just for clarity, I just clicked on jerseys on the shop. I just clicked jerseys, and
Yeah.
it sorts by top sellers. 72 items. So it's Mayfield from the Cleveland Browns. Then it's Mahomes. Then it's Mayfield again, but a different color. Then it's Mayfield
I mean,
again,
that sounds like he's in
but
the
a different
M section
color.
to me.
Are
Then
you
it's a
dead
Mayfield
serious?
again, but a different color. Then it's Mac. Then it's Mahomes again.
Dude, Mayfield.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
How long
6,
till we get to a non-M?
7. So Mahomes is both 2 and 7. And then it's Beckham Jr., Smith-Schuster, and then any name
Any name.
Like, I can put my own name on it?
on a Chicago Bears variant.
Man, the
Yeah.
Bears fans are going nuts, huh?
Any name.
I don't know.
So,
Why?
Hubert, Baker Mayfield was just at a baseball game. I don't know if
Mac.
this is in your own sphere as a baseball fan, but they cut to him on camera, and so he just like took a beer and like did like the college thing where you like bite
Yeah.
it and then just do that. I wonder if that's why he's number 1 this week.
Yeah.
He's number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 5.
What is the response to that? Like, dude, I like beer. Time to
Yes.
buy this
People
jersey.
buying
Yes.
it and then slamming beers
And
into their
they're
head.
just like, Baker's the man, baby.
Yeah.
We got it this year, baby. The Bears are back, baby. It's like, I don't know.
But it's the Cleveland Browns, though.
Oh, sorry, the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are back, baby.
So yeah, Mahomes is 2 and 7.
Okay. Hey, that's good. That's a win for me and a win for Brad.
I like beer too.
Dude,
I like beer.
dude, I like beer.
Me too. I gotta buy that jersey.
2K, monetize me.
That brings our score to Scrappy Little Pigs 18.
Aren't you gonna make the noise?
I totally forgot I'm the Scrappy Little Pigs. Scrappy Little Pigs 18. Gorgeous Gorillas 16. I want to thank Kevboard Arts, who just keeps me honest about the scores, which I mess up every single week. So thank you for doing everything you do there. Oh, and also, I forgot to thank the people who tweeted the Marvel Ultimate Alliance box to me. Appreciate that as well, to anyone who did that. But let me tell you a little bit about patreon.com/easyallies. You've heard me stumble through at the beginning of this podcast the incentive for people who pay $5 or more a month. They get this podcast 2 days early. At the end of this month, that's going to be Fridays, but currently you would get that on Wednesdays as opposed to Fridays. But again, by the end of this month, when we shift into phase 4, you're going to get it on Fridays as opposed to Sundays when the video goes public and audio. All right, so who am I splitting with? Who's in the Brad seat?
Brad wins every time.
He wins a lot.
Professional better.
He wins a lot.
Unreal.
Huber, you're in the Brad seat.
Every time this guy, dude.
Every time this guy. You've got seasons, and then every time this guy.
I like beer. What the hell's his roadmap?
Baker. Okay, so Huber, please. What do you want? Do you want right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world? Final word. We want to promote a video and sign off. What do you want first?
I don't know. You pick.
All right, I'll take first pick. I want to promote a video.
Cool.
What do you want?
I don't know. You pick.
Huber is going to have final word. I'm going to have the sign off, and then Huber is going to give everybody his Twitter handle. All right, Huber, what do you want? What's your Twitter handle?
At Michael P. Huber.
Okay. Video what I'd like to promote is we're about to go record the Hall of Greats tonight. So go ahead, go to youtube.com/easyallies and search for the Hall of Greats. If you're not familiar with that, that's where we induct video games into what we call the Hall of Greats, the greatest video games of all time.
Scroll down on EasyAllies.com.
Hey, you're already
Might be a little
here,
quicker,
right?
yeah.
Well, we got listeners. Okay, and so Huber, what's the final word?
It was just really fun talking about fighting games today with you guys. It was awesome. It was very wholesome content.
Dude, Huber.
It was so fun. I really liked it because, like, fighting games. I love fighting games. I'm not an expert. The only fighting game I could even comfortably talk about really is Mortal Kombat. But it's just really fun, like, hearing about, like, Evo. Dude, Ben
Yo.
went to Evo and was like on the ground, dude. It's just cool.
Did you see that Nightwolf trailer?
Dude, the bear.
The bear.
The bear hype, dude.
Ben, I just realized, did MK11 have an Evo announcement?
So, I did not. I was watching Mortal Kombat and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Because it was late. It's not
event.
an insult to Mortal Kombat. I just fell asleep. It just happened.
I thought we would see Spawn and it like didn't happen.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I want to go back and I want to watch the grand finals. I want to watch Sonic Fox play. I know the
Yeah.
result already, but yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, people were talking about it, and it's a good point. I feel like Mortal Kombat announces their big things like right before an event. Like they don't do it at the
Yeah.
event; they do
Yeah.
it right before. So they just
Like that
did the
Nightwolf
trailer. Yeah.
Yep.
And
two-
Terminator's
oh,
coming out. The movie's coming out in a few months, so I assume the character will be.
Oh yeah, not officially
Around that
announced, but we
time,
know
yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah, we
dude.
know.
We know it's coming.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is forever all ours.
What I'm not a humongous fan of is Final Fantasy VII. What I am a huge fan of is marketing campaigns.
Sexy.